Yo, what's going on? It's Trucker Short Stacks coming back with y'all. Yeah, I know it's a little late doing a video, man, and just trying to get some information out there from you guys. Um, I'm now currently sitting in Amarillo, Texas. I'll be headed up to Colorado here soon, and I'll be dropping the rest of my load. Now, only one dilemma that I'm facing right now is the freaking chain law. I went in and priced the chains, and guess how much they want for? Guess, we got a second. $450. You got about 3 bags. So therefore, this is a mandated law by Colorado, and they're enforcing it. So they have the right to pull you over and check see if you got chains. So I have to comply with the chain law. So I gotta buy some chains. And the look on this load now is looking real. Yeah. Just being real about it. This load actually paid pretty good. Now you're breaking down with the chains and the fuel. Now looking at it, I shouldn't have took this load, really. But I still profit off of it. I still would profit off this load. But and still, it took me. I picked this load up on a Tuesday. No, I picked it up on Monday. Was it Monday? Yeah, I picked it up Monday. I actually didn't get to offload it because that Tuesday, the guys wasn't in there to receive it. So I lost a day, and I lost pretty much. Well, I won't lose another day. I can get this load off by Thursday, so I can have this load off by Thursday, and I'm trying to find me something else. So now, the only dilemma that I'm facing now is finding me a load up out of there ASAP, because I don't like the cold. I don't like being up in the areas where you just pretty much gotta be forced to do stuff like I say the chain law. I mean, I always comply by the rules, whatever. That's what it is. But now my dilemma is I'm faced with getting some chains for $400. Man, and you want to be an owner operator, right? There are gonna be days like this that you got truck payments, you got truck repairs, and you gotta go in the area that's where freight at. You gotta go in the area that where the load is paying at. This was a high paying load. Now you break it down. And is it worth being an owner operator at some point? Because you gotta look at the value of what's being broke down here. I just lost out on extra $400 right there. So this extra $400 I'm gonna have to spend on chain tires, on chains to put on my tires that I know I won't use because I'm not chaining up to go nowhere. If it starts snowing that bad and they start putting lights on for you to get off the road or chain up, buddy, I'm shutting it down. And Colorado is the a-hole state to where they require it to be in your truck at all times. Or like other states like Wyoming, they don't require you to have chains until you're on the side of the road and you're stuck. You have to have chains. You cannot be stuck on the road. So they require you to have chains then. But if you're caught without the chains on the road and stuck, then they give you a ticket. Not you have to cross the scale house. You got to have chains regardless what the situation is. So that's one of the things that I'm learning out here is running all 48, because this is broad. This is actually my first time going to Colorado. Now I don't go no farther than New Mexico or whatever, because that's pretty much what my cutoff is. I'll hit New Mexico and I'll come back and I'll run Texas and then come back up like Kansas or something like that. Arkansas, Oklahoma. I run that. But going into Colorado, the Rockies and all that. I don't do. So that's one of the things I'm faced with, learning that the more areas that you run, the more they require, and the more required, the more you should ask for on your money. If you with a company, you cannot ask for more money on your dollar. I mean, you cannot ask for more on your load. That's where you need to weigh in on, is the load really worth it? Because you have to know when you're running your own equipment what you're willing to do, what you're willing to put out, because you know it's going to take fuel, it's going to take time to get out of there. Like now, I'm still faced with getting another load. Now, it's not hard because I went on my actual load board that I have. I pay for load boards separately. So I'm actually go on my load boards. I'm going to find me a load, and I'll find a pretty decent load out of there. So I probably will, more like I'll make that money back. But at the same time, I have to be able to get this load off by tomorrow. So I get this load off by tomorrow, I'm able to profit because I got it off a day early. Because actually, they're wanting to get it off Friday, but I can get it there tomorrow. I'll probably be there around by 12 because I'll gain another hour in the Rockies. So I'll be on Rocky time, whatever. So I'll gain another hour over there. So I actually, like, the farther I went left, the more hours I gained. So actually, I lost out on the day, but I gained the hour back. So you got to think about when you're going into different states, going to different part of the United States, your hours change. A lot of the guys don't talk about that because when you book a load, always remember that loads that you book out west or you booking out Midwest, whatever, you're always going to gain an hour or two out of that. You know, you're going to gain hours. So if you book something going back east, always consider losing hours. So you got to consider losing hours on top of traffic hours. So always remember, when you book freight, book accordingly and timely, because you can kill yourself. You can pretty much, I say kill yourself, but you pretty much put yourself in a dilemma where you'll be late for the delivery or late for pickup because you don't know your time changes. And your time changes don't reflect on when you book that load because they're actually off East Coast time. And most loads run off of East Coast time. And it's crazy because you're picking up in the Midwest, you might pick over in the East Coast, you might pick over in California, but you're still going to refer back to East Coast time. So most time on loads is preferred East Coast time. So you got to think, if you're actually there on time, you could be late in the East. But you're actually ahead of time, you could be early, you could be on time. Then you're going back west. If you're late on time, you could be on time. It's a crazy dilemma. I know it's crazy. I know people thinking like, wow, what are you talking about? Like, dude, it's out here information that you have to know. Like, a lot of owner operators don't talk about that right there. When you out here booking these loads, book these loads accordingly and know what you got to get into when you're booking these loads. Because yeah, you can make a lot of money, but then you can lose a lot of money going back and forth with brokers, going to different areas that you don't know the laws. Because like I say, I'm new to Colorado. I didn't know that the law was you gotta have these chains. And I had buddy of mine tell me like, hey man, you might want to get some chains. Okay, cool. So I really reached into the law because I didn't really want to buy chains. Now I'm at the point where I'm forced to buy the chains. And I'm going to buy them, but I want to buy them to where I can return them because I know I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to crack the bag open. I'm not using no chains. If I got to sit up the other day, that's cool with me because I have no overhead. This truck is not eating. You know, I have, bills at home, of course, but I'm at the point where I'm financially stable with my business to where I can afford a day or two. And that's what you got to remember. A lot of guys can't afford to sit. They cannot afford to sit because their overhead is so high that they have to maintain a daily average. And your daily average start overwhelming your life, then you're actually in trouble. You're actually running your business to the ground. You're going to run your truck in the ground, number one, and you're going to run yourself in the ground because you can't keep up with the way the economy is, the way the load boys are running now, you can't keep up with it. And it's not guaranteed, Being out here in this trucking field, a lot of stuff is not guaranteed. Like, you can be promised to have this load when you get here. Like, I had a load really set up in Colorado, but the load didn't load to the 16th, which today is actually the 8th. So why would I take a load that is like almost a week away? It paid good, but at the end of the day, like 6 days, that's a little overkill. So I wasn't gonna do that. So I'll turn my truck on. I got these lights on. I like to keep my battery charged. You can kill your battery. Just sit there. But one of my things that I'm actually like looking into and looking into and profit and our comeback west is having chains, having a newer truck, because I've seen loads that went to California from where I went. But you got to think about when you're running the road, having an older truck, can you go to California? This is going to be a conversation that a lot of guys don't talk about. A lot of guys don't talk about, yeah, you can get an older truck, it's going to be cheaper, but are you going to get the full benefits of running all the areas? Because you actually pay, when you lease onto the company, you actually pay for 48 states. And you're not going to use all 48 states. They only, like, they will only provide you a certain amount of area that you can run. And then if you pay for 48 states, they expect you to run 48 states. They're not caring if you can or you cannot run. They're just going to take that money because that's extra money that you're going to have to pay with your 2290, your taxes, all that stuff. All that plays a factor. So remember, when you're getting an older truck versus a newer truck, there are pros and cons. Weigh out your pros and cons. You know how you run. You know where you'd like to go. When you get into the game, you're buying a truck. Know where you want to go before you buy a truck, because you got to understand how you're going to run that truck. You got to understand, if you're going to run that truck, you got to understand what's more efficient and how it's going to benefit you when you run your truck in flat lands, in hilly lands. It's going to save you on fuel. It's going to burn a lot of fuel, because the old truck, 9 times 10, is going to burn way more fuel than a newer truck. So then you got to think about, with a newer truck, you got an extra fuel because you got depth divides and you got to worry about regen and stuff like that. So having an old truck, you don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff, but you might burn more fuel. So it weighs out, it kind of weighs out. But like I say, when you get into a dilemma where you're going west and you're getting a load, then you got to think about it. Hey, I can't go so far west, so I gotta understand that my truck is older, so I gotta really stay on the East Coast. You gotta really run up and down the East Coast. Like, you can come out here, but you taking a chance like me. If I had the overhead that a lot of drivers had, I wouldn't even come this far. I wouldn't have come this way. But I said, okay, it's 2020. We're trying a new era. Let's take it's just low pay good. Like I say, low pay good. It's near the house. When it got this low, I'm gonna I'm gonna have a load tomorrow. I'll book a load tomorrow, and then when I book a load tomorrow, I'm actually probably gonna head back south. So when I head back south, then I'll be able to do a lot more, to find a lot more loads that suits me to get back home, because actually I'm staying out this weekend. um, like I say, I don't stay out much, but I'm starting to stay out a little bit. And then I'm waiting on my other truck. Like, I'm in the process of getting another truck. So when it all boils down, I will have best of both worlds. I'll have something that's newer, and then this one right here. Oh, so I can run uh, anywhere with the next truck I got, with warranty and all that. Plus, this truck here is my bread and butter. I can go to this mug, crank this mug up. It's gonna be pretty good. You know, God forbid something happen tomorrow, but at the end of the day, it's paid for. So I always got a backbone. I got this paid for. I can
you know, get into a situation and get out tomorrow. Simple as that. But with the newer truck, I know that I can run anywhere. I can put ease on my mom, running, stuff like that. A lot of guys don't talk about that. Like they are set up. Like Chasing Andrew is set up for his area with his older truck. He just rebuilt his truck. He's gonna do some more stuff with it. But he's set up for his area. He set himself up to run those freight lanes with that truck because it's tuned. It's running what he needs to run. That's what you gotta look at. When you searching for these older trucks, know what you're getting into. A lot of people don't talk about, hey man, you just buy the $25,000 truck or $10,000 truck, but you can't buy a truck if you don't know the criteria. How you gonna use this truck? Understand how you gonna use this truck. Understand what type of equipment you need to do the job that you're gonna acquire. Simple as that. Like I say, guys, this is this is I don't know what day it is, y'all. So many vlogs, but this is probably day 3, week 4, and talking about the tire change. That's the dilemma I'm set with. So we'll find out if I actually get the tire change and actually do what I need to do with that. And I'll be doing a video about that when I get him in the truck and where I'm gonna put him at. And more like I'll get the auto socks. I probably won't get the tire change and try to get something that make me lighter because I don't like to get heavy. And that's what I'm gonna roll with, man. And like I say, man, y'all be easy, y'all be breezy. This truck is Short Stack coming at y'all again with another one. Be safe out on that highway and get the mighty dollars, man. It's 2020. Time for change, cut the bulls, and get to the bag. All year 2020, baby. Truck Short Stack 7 out.